Hello! I am on my first weekly love stream. My makeup might be a little messed up because I just had a few tears. Let me close the door, David. Just turn on the TV. Okay, I'm back. So one of the intentions that I have for connecting with you, hanging out and spending some time together, sharing insights that have come up. And an insight just recently came up that I wanted to share with you. Tomorrow is the total solar eclipse, August 21st. 2017, and it has varying degrees of visibility. And I happened to see that it was near 100% visibility where Joshua lives. And so it got in my head that I can drive, this evening into tonight, spend the night with Joshua, and then drive another hour and be in 100% visibility to see the solar eclipse. Because it's an awe-inspiring moment. It won't come again for 400 years to this country. And it was fascinating to me, and it really broke my heart open that, for one, David said, well, you've got good tires, changed the oil in the car last week, so if that's what you want to do, you're able to do it. And when I chatted with Josh, and I said, Josh, I might go visit you unexpectedly. And he started laughing. And then he said, you're definitely able to. And what I noticed about this is that the guys didn't discourage me. They didn't say, Mom, you're acting crazy. You can't just do these things on a whim. And they really just encouraged me. And one of the things that I want to share with you, because I shared a quote from a journal from years and years back. And it really signified a sort of shift in direction. Because I believe that one of the main reasons that I feel so compelled to share what I've learned is because of the way that I thrive, the way that I live. And when you're moving through a change of being, it feels like complete chaos. And sometimes it feels like isolation. And so I remember, when the quote that I'm thinking of is, the big love in your life is a grand affair. A grand affair. First, between you and your better self. And second, between that self and the world. And so when I recognize that my better self, when I talk about turning inward, you turn towards yourself and you really get to know who you are at a level that you just might not be as intimate with. Because there's lots of veils and lots of illusions between you and who you are, because you want to make other people happy, you want to make other people proud. And I do have clothes on. It kind of looks like I don't have clothes on. So the significant difference that I felt when I was describing this inclination to travel unexpectedly, because I do have wanderlust, was that they were both my guys, David and Josh, were supportive. They weren't squashing me, and they weren't telling me it was unreasonable or whatever. And I'm going to tell you that they weren't telling me that because I wasn't telling myself that in my heart. If I had doubted myself, I think they would have doubted me. And so when you hear someone you love, that you know loves you, telling you no, or maybe not, or let's think about that, Just tune into yourself and ask yourself, how am I saying that to me? Because it's not that they don't want you to have what you want. And it's not that they don't believe that you can have what you want. I'm going to dry my tears here with the paper towel. It's that they're trying to protect you. And they're projecting the doubt that you feel inside. So this was a very beautiful experience for me. One, because I recognized the reaction that I would have gotten from them a few years ago was, really, you're crazy. And I am, I am. But because I'm so centered in who I am and what I know that I want, it came back as complete support. So that's my message for you today on Sunday, my very first love stream after that experiment. Because the grand affair of your life starts first and foremost with you tuning into who you are and loving that person because of the way they are. Because I'll tell you that if I wasn't that adventurous, if I wasn't that trusting and faith-filled in what I know my heart calls me to, there's a lot of things that wouldn't have happened in my life. And the one that I can think of right now is being in Germany when Josh was little, probably 4. I think he was there between when we were like 2 to 5. And David being deployed, and it was before GPS, it was before cell phones, it was before Google Translate. And we didn't have a lot of money. He was an enlisted soldier, I think an E4. So one of the things that I found to entertain that was inexpensive was grabbing our gas coupons, finding the local newspaper and going to a nearby Volksmarch. It was a road trip with the boys, little boys, by myself, in a country that I didn't speak the language or knew the signs, and a map. Walking, I think it was 7 miles. Walking 7 miles with an infant and a 4-year-old. You can imagine what that's like. Getting my little prize at the end of that walk. Buckling them in, and then taking us home that evening. That took the same kind of adventure. And I don't know, probably even recklessness that is going through or went through my mind earlier when I said, I'm driving to the total eclipse. Now I've since decided that it's not something that I want to do. Because I really don't like to drive as much as I used to. So I don't do it anymore. But I thought that this message was significant because, one, the grand affair, that big love that you're looking for in your life, turns towards yourself so that you love who you are exactly as you are. Because that characteristic, that trait, serves a purpose. It served a purpose for me when my boys were young. And it's still here. It's who I am. And I just loved that both David and Josh were so supportive of my craziness. And even though I've decided not to go, I know that I can if I want to. And having that choice gives me a sense of agency. And having that support makes me feel like I belong. And all of that is what gives you purpose and meaning. So, I hope that this message serves you. And I want to send you love and just remind you that the first person that you love has to be you. And then that love will come back to you from everyone that's meant to love you.